That was premature. Okay, share my share my screen. Get my music up. Oh God. I don't know why. What's interesting is I have to suspend the app and then click back on it, and then it shows up. And it's not obvious to me why I have to do that. So, what is the difference between on start and on resume? I mean, the only thing I really see is this right here. All right, so let's see if that fixes it. If I just remove that part. Uh-oh. Hey, observers. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here in Miami. But I guess I should notify Twitter people. All right, what's this?
The scribe trait.
When you fall in love, it changes your world. And there's nothing like it. Battles and bosses, characters, conquests. But this is not a war story. It's a love story. Because when you feel it, you'll know that every good story is a love story. And this is ours.
Yes. Right. So now if we implement the scribe, we can do two things here that's quite cool, right? We can have a struct called describe me for no apparent reason, okay? That's gonna have a value, right? So we can now implement describe for describe me, and we're gonna have the describe function, and we're gonna return a string. But unlike a trait, here we can choose to either have a default implementation where we just return a string empty or an empty string, or we can say this is what the signature looks like, but there is no
Yeah.
default
So
implementation. So you have to decide. You have to decide what this
that
is.
didn't address my
So
issue.
in our case, we're just
If
going to return a
I
string
suspend
with
and then
the
reload,
value, right? So or we can say describe
yeah,
me and then with the value.
I
We can
don't
put
get
this
it.
in angle brackets so it looks like some kind of Python thing, right? And oh right, I ditched the main function somehow, didn't I?
Let's see if he responds to me. I'm curious what his insights
All right,
are.
okay. Yeah, I
But it
am
looks like
really
he's
not
in
the
flow right now.
smartest guy in the room. Implement describe for describe me. We're missing an R here. Fix that. Typo. There we go. Right. So we can also implement our traits for library type, for standard library type, which is really exciting. So we can create a trait and add. So this would be extension methods in C#, for instance, for some of you who know that, right? But we can implement our traits for types available in other libraries. So we can describe a string, and here we can just return self, right? Well, we have to clone it, right? But let's not be that boring, okay? So we say string followed by some brackets with the actual string. I realized I could use the debug representation there, and then self, and that's it, right?
Why is that?
The number of
Hold
times I
on.
can hit Control B and N at the same time. So now I can describe both a string and this describe me. So let's create this describe an instance of describe me, right? Describe me with a value of 123, and we're gonna have a string as well. So now we can call the describe thing with reference to desk. No, we have to move it. Yeah, we have to move it. Okay, desk me, and also let's copy this thing, get rid of that p, and just pass the string in as well. So we're gonna run this thing with both of these ones. So here we can see describe me and string hello, right? Not overly exciting, but we are talking about the traits here. So this is the definition of the trait, and we're just saying that our function do something with a thing that has described me. We can also say that whatever has described me also have to implement clone, right? So now we could clone this thing if we wanted to as well, right? But note how our implementation of describe me here, so this struct does not implement clone. So this will not compile now, right? The trait bound describe me clone is not satisfied. So that means that we have to implement where's the debug thing? There you are, right? We have to implement clone for this thing as well, right? For this to actually compile. So we can add trait bounds here as well. But we're talking about trait. So a trait is a way to add additional functionality to something, right? When can a trait be implemented for a type? A trait can, as long as you have created the trait.
Yeah, he's busy. Okay, so back to my Asian music. Yep, this is what I'm experiencing. The devices were from okay. They didn't say what the solution is. Well, they added this right here. Let's see if that fixes it. Can I even do that? No. What are they? No, that's not it either. Hold up. TC. Oh, okay. So they do this. See if that does anything. Let's see if that does anything. Because in their example, crap, I lost it already. Hold up. All right, let's see what happens. Down here it says hot reload initializing. Let's see if it updates. Hot reload connected, and there's nothing. And then it gets reloaded. So that didn't work. System should not display. Please go to the following link. See, the real device has the same behavior. I did have this screen problem before I changed the name. I didn't hope this will work for Android. If not, I'll keep you in touch. I don't know what that means. So I want to just move on to other things, like testing my backend services. So let's purchase a sunscreen thing. Okay. Then here's a question. Should I add a checkout button below these two buttons? Or should I just require the user to tap this card up here? I mean, to me, it's obvious that this card is right here. And it becomes obvious once they add an item to the cart because the layout updates. But I'm not sure. I'm not an end user, so I'm not sure if I should have a checkout button that's disabled, and then when they add an item, I enable the checkout button right below here. Anyways, so you have this right here, and you say checkout. And then say next. All right. So there's a couple things with this. I want this delivery thing. What is image style? This is height request is 24. Looks like I'll have to make it a little bit bigger, right? Because that doesn't look like it doesn't look right. Oh shoot, hold up. So if I say our request equals 32, does that mean anything? It got slightly bigger. Go back to. I'll leave it like this for right now. I'm missing some other spin here. Like it's supposed to have the items listed right in this area, and that's no longer there. Hopefully it's a quick fix. So Control Alt L. Curious if it gets loaded in the code behind. Generate. Yeah, this right here. So if we go to this generate method, okay, so let's relaunch this. I'm hoping that these items are empty, and that's the only reason why it's not rendering. If they're not empty, then it means that I'm probably binding to the wrong thing, right? And actually, that's something that I didn't even check. Mm, mm. Uh, click on that. When we say checkout, now let's look at our output window. Is submitted property not found on create account. Let's create account. And I agree. There's no is submitted property. Create. Is that something that I need to visit right now? Yeah, that's this right here. Create account. Is there any bool value in here? No, no. There's a bank card accepted. Where's that at? Yeah, it's probably this right here. Okay, so that should work. If we go back to the original, say next. Okay, here's our viewmodel.order, and we see that the count is 0. Okay, so that's a little bit comforting. It's comforting that we don't have any items in our order. So hopefully that could be quickly addressed. Our view model declaration is right here. Our quote is this, our request is freezing. Figure out where this is actually being used at. Everything's slowing down now. Hold up. On checkout requested, here's the order. I think I see it right here. It's not an empty cart. Yeah, I think this is it right here. And so let's relaunch this, because I believe that I'm just using. See, that's not an empty cart thing. This was me trying to go ham on this illegal states made unrepresentable campaign, and I was getting myself in trouble. Now, if this is easy to construct, then it shouldn't be an issue. But if I'm going to use this, then I need to use my cart view model and then construct this non-empty cart structure or value using my view model. basically convert my cart view model to this non-empty cart value. Okay, so we look at this cart right here. It actually has items in it. Okay. Yep. Which I'm surprised. Ooh, I know why. Because this only has, I think one of the reasons is, or maybe not, because this says restaurant locations. That might be an issue. Anyways, let's step into it. Step out of that. Step into this. Again, we have a cart that has an item in here. And we say cart to restaurant carriers. And my hunch is there is no restaurant for this specific item. It's a store. So there's this domain transfer. Let's just see what the carrier map says. So the carrier map still has an item in it. It looks like it's empty. Oh, no, I thought this said one. Count one, enumerator. Yeah, it looks like it's just empty. Periodically check to see if I have messages. Item from type. All right, so I think the issue is a reliance on restaurant locations, and it should probably be carrier locations. So this is probably going to be some rework. If we look at item, give me a second. If we look at item, and then item type, and then item, there's a carrier ID on here, and that's probably what we're looking for. So if we look at this restaurant ID of a carrier profile, that's probably off. So kill it. Carrier ID. maybe call this carrier type. And I'm not even sure how to. Is there even a carrier profile in my event store solution? Oh god, what's this? Look at this. Hold up, just stop it and then run it, and then ask if there's a carrier profile. Yeah, so there's a carrier type on here. Okay. Next, make sure I can build. If it doesn't build, it's because there's a conflict between restaurant type in my C# code versus a carrier type in my F# code. And it resolved. And then there's this whole thing about a restaurant location. Carrier map contains key. So let's change this restaurant location to carrier location. Make sure we can build that. So I think I saw some errors with that. That should be straight. Change the verbiage. Carrier locations. Okay. What else? Carrier location, and then this is instead of restaurant, we say carrier. All right, so that builds. And then I guess this should be carrier locations. Oh shoot, hold up. Carrier locations. Obviously that should build. If I go back to my original, it was, where was my original at? Language mapper? That looks ugly. I think it was this up here. And see, this is restaurant carriers. So there's some issues with my verbiage, how to carrier locations. It should actually be, there should actually be a carrier locations. I thought I already added this like that. Oh, okay. So there's a carrier ID that I need to assign. If we go to our home.fs, I don't think we have a notion of a carrier ID for this sunscreen. It's called some carrier ID. Okay. So what's an example of this? For Denny's, for an All-American Slam, that's not what I meant. Hold up. Why is it so different? It's a context is restaurant. How does it? How does that even work? Oh, I know why. All right. So, what is a good example? A good example is there should be a mock somewhere up here. I'm not sure what word request is missing. And there should be a I don't know what this is either. Oh, I don't know what this is. That's the wrong mod. Shoot, mod. What's this over here? I forget to check my messages. So they have a carrier ID, and it's this right here. And yeah, that's the only place where it's being referenced that I see. I keep forgetting. Once this thing says it connected, I have to suspend it, bring it back. Uh, now this is specific to restaurant view model. I feel like this is just wrong. Cart to request. So here's the question. What does cart to request mean? And why does it require... Well, it's just restaurant locations. And that's going to have... Yeah, just locations of restaurants. So we should have like var carrier locations equals, and then it's something like this right here. And there's going to be, I don't know, what is this, a list? Say, and I'm in C#, right? So map filter, reduce. How do I say new list of what? Carrier location. And theoretically, I should just be able to dump it into this restaurant locations. Something like that. Let's see if that actually compiles. It looks like it. But then I would also want to say carrier location site, and then add range. And it would be, is there a store view model? There's a store page. There's a carrier.fs. The carrier view model. Is there anything about locations here? No. There should be something like this, dot, and then like carrier locations, or just look, yeah, something like that. So I would throw that, I don't know. Why would a carrier have carrier locations? Oh God, hold up. Why would a restaurant have restaurant locations? Location. Okay. Carrier locations. Okay, so that built. For now, let me just check in what I have. Hold up. Partial support for rewiring back end services to client, something like that. It's been an hour yet, 50 minutes. Okay, so now what? Let's go back to restaurants and here's what we do over here for loading restaurant locations in the restaurants mod or view model. Carrier probably should be consistent for now. Man, it's been a long time. Hold on. This load is, where is that called at? Right there. Okay. Can I like just move this away? Hold up. Can I just put you up here? No. So those little restaurants, should it even matter? Hold up. Before I even do that, let's just put a placeholder in here. Something like that. Okay. And go look at this over here. And this low restaurants, dependencies for restaurant loading, query restaurant locations. And okay. So as long as that builds, let me periodically check my messages. As long as that builds, then it's really carrier locations, right? Oh, and then over here it says restaurant for restaurants loading. Yeah. So first, make sure this thing builds. Okay. And so dependencies for change that to carrier. Oh shoot, hold up. Dependencies, carrier. carrier loading. Carrier. Fuck. And that query restaurant over here. Ooh, that is a restaurant ID. I don't think it needs to be. Hold up. That's over here. Type restaurant ID. Oh yeah, that's legitimately a restaurant. Okay. Query. Okay. Yeah, that's legitimately a restaurant. All right. So where am I at? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Here's some errors up here. Okay. About that. So your dependencies for carrier. Get carrier, and this is query restaurant, which is not fine. For get restaurant, for get carrier. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be changing it back, especially because of this specific property right here. And this is nothing but like a filter, man. Support for renaming restaurant references to carriers. 1 hour. Like, okay, so for example, if I didn't select a store item and I just selected a restaurant menu item, it should be shown within on the order request form, the actual item or the actual cart selection. So let's demonstrate that hopefully quickly. And I keep having the habit of forgetting about this. All right, so like if I, let's Denny's shakes review, check out. And of course, this code right here doesn't work. That's okay though. Hey, Gambler, how are you? Test, test, test. How's everything going? If you're still there. Uh, Gambler, man. I had to quit a job a couple of days ago. I had just started, and like, I'm curious what your opinion is. Like, I think you're a full time employee, right? So you probably don't work as a contractor. But have you ever like been put in an environment where you cannot be productive? Like based on the way that they do things, um, that you felt like your hands were like tied and you really couldn't deliver on the cadence or quality that you would like to. Basically, they remove the environment that makes you successful. Have you ever been in that situation or felt that type of way? Yeah, I was in. So I quit, but I was still invited to a meeting after I quit because they wanted to figure out like what they could do to resolve some of my concerns. And they said speak freely, and so I just started going in, right? Just okay. The architectural decisions are counterintuitive, and they're leading to sloppy code because these decisions are enabling developers to basically, it requires them to be hella disciplined instead of leaving it up to the compiler to police the code that they're checking in. And I started just going in, and the CTO told me that I need to lower my tone because apparently I was getting too heated or emotional. And it's just frustrating when you get hired for your experience, but they ignore your experience. It's also frustrating when the people that are in leadership positions, they haven't yet felt the pain or the burn of what you're trying to articulate to them. That's going to bite them later. And it's just frustrating, man. It's like, I think we all care about the project, but they're not willing to take advantage or synergize with people that have various experiences that they can contribute. It's assumed like the lead knows everything and can do no wrong. Like, we have a Microsoft MVP on our team and they completely ignore him. And it's just, I find myself in these situations like every couple of years, and I feel like it's helpless. So some people may say, "Oh, Scott, well, you have high standards, or you're arrogant, or that's not reality. That's just your issue." And I'm like, I mean, I don't. Why are you hiring me, right? If you're not hiring me for experience and to like kick ass, then why are you hiring me, right? Like, remove the barriers, provide me the environment for me to be successful. And if you really want to talk about what's not working, provide me a platform so I can provide a dissertation on why it's not working. And don't cut me off, right? And don't say, "Oh, well, we're not here to write perfect code." Like, and that's what like the CTO said. And I'm like, I abruptly said, no, I'm not talking about perfect code. What I'm talking about is reducing risk so that we can deliver a successful project on time, on budget, right? I said nothing about perfection. What I'm saying is just core engineering principles, modern practices that help reduce the likelihood of failure, right? And my tone was probably out of line, but it's like, I don't like when people misconstrue my concerns about where a project is going and saying that, "Oh, I'm seeking perfection." It's not perfection. And don't even try to play me like that. It's, I'm calling out issues that you guys don't even see yet. I have 20 years of experience screwing up. So let me help you, right? And it's just frustrating. You could tell that I'm frustrated. I'm not good enough of a diplomat to slowly change the environment company. Interesting that they have obviously a skilled developer. Yep. Where am I at? And so I think one of my issues, I have a lot of issues, is I don't think I really fit into an employee bucket. Like, I talk to CEO or I talk to CTOs as if they're my peers. Only because I find myself also trying to learn how to build a product, build a business, and market. And like, I don't look at them as like a superior being. I look at them as a partner, even though I'm not getting paid like a partner of the organization. But like, I look at them as a partner because I feel like I'm a stakeholder. And that's probably why I have the tone that I have with them. It's because I understand that they're leadership, but I'm trying to help them. And I feel like they forget that I'm trying to help them. And I think, I don't know, I just feel like they look at me as some type of subordinate that is only supposed to receive instructions and do whatever they tell me to do. I'm not that dude. I'm not. Like I frame myself as a consultant, not as an employee, right? I frame myself as someone that is in a position to advise, not someone that is told what to do, regardless of if it's advantageous. And so there's just a disconnect, man. Always work for companies with 10 or less people. There's no rank position in games set at that scale. Yeah, but you have a lead developer, right? And there's like a CTO, right? What am I supposed to do? I was supposed to, how do I go? Remove this item right here. Remove it. Now I was supposed to test a restaurant. So boom, boom, boom. And if I go to the cart and then I say checkout, I can almost guarantee that the restaurant items are going to be listed. Say next, generate, stack layout, do that. Yeah, so, ooh, caught something. So, yeah, this stuff is in here. I could probably increase. I don't even know what the name of the, what is it called? Request quote.xaml. Height request is going to be, instead of 24, I'm going to make it 30. Technically, there is a CTO, but I've so much leverage it barely matters. Of course, there's sometimes business uh, business is that divisions. Yeah, sometimes there's business divisions I disagree with, but I argue my side and carry on. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, I get it. It becomes an issue when leadership or whoever they put in the position over me makes my job harder. Like I I have a really difficult time dealing with it, especially when I know that I could be using that time to deliver value in something that I think is that requires it, right? And so like I feel like why am I working to try to accomplish their dream and they're not understanding the impediments nor are they removing it when I could just be working on my own dream, right? Like I'm trying to help them and it's like there's just a disconnect basically because they're not technical enough. And it's like they have code reviews and it's pointless because yeah, I'm not going to go in detail. Their code reviews are a joke. And when I call it out, they just say, yeah, well, okay. And they just continue. So they have all these like barriers that just are counterintuitive. They have all this overhead that doesn't really mean anything. It's just a rubber stamp. So yeah, I'm done, man. Where is somewhere in here is I need to update the bindings right here. It's not clear to me where that's at. Decisions. There's a That's right. Hold up. But where is... This is vertical options. 2 columns. Image style, items price, delivery price. Do I even have that here? I don't even know what this is right here. Ooh. Amount? That should fix it, right? No. Okay, I'm off hungry. See you another time. All right, see ya. Bye. Here it is right here. Is it? Hold up. Name, order, stack, layout. Where? I don't see. Maybe I gotta color it. Background color is pink. Okay. Pink. Okay. Background color pink. Okay. So this is order stack layout. Okay. Over here, say generate. Generate glyphs. Okay. Text equals accumulator to string. Okay, I understand that part. Start forms image. Do that. So that's up here. This label. That's item quantity, which is up here. And there should be the image. And then the very next stack layout.add should be sounds not right. It should be the price. Where is this thing at? Hold up. Here's the generate layout. What does this do? Quantity, okay. And then I wrote this code so long ago, man. Here we go. Mount. How's it right there? Okay, so let's run it and then I could check in this code and then I could take a break. I still want to vent. I'm not done venting. Hold up.
Which is of t, and then here's our data. Okay, so this is fine. We can create a new data of just about any type, but we'll say that import data where the type happens to be a string is the only place where we can print this, right?
Let's see if he responds. He's probably in his
Now,
zone.
if I do this, okay, let data equals data new, we're gonna pass in what's up. I can now call data print, and that's fine. However, if we change this thing to be a number, now the print function doesn't exist for this type, right? So this means if we're gonna be a little bit more sensible about this thing, right? Let's say that we have a connection.
Actually,
Basically over T. And we're gonna have a state on this thing as well, right? That's not what we're gonna have. We're gonna have a struct called anon, and we have a struct called user, which holds a name, right? Now, if we can create a new one with any connection. That's perfectly fine. Actually, this is a little bit of an odd thing to call that connection. Let's call that user instead. Okay, user is T, and that's gonna be user. That's also user, and then we can do this
So
for
here we
a
go. This
user. Okay,
this
and we
part's
can
resolved.
print self.user.username. Right. This is perfectly fine. However, you can't print the username for an anonymous user. Okay, print username is what it should say. And can't find type dates. And now we call that connection. Anyway, connection.
Yeah, he's in the zone, so he's not gonna
And then
respond.
we're gonna do the same thing there. And then we find that. Okay, so let's get rid of this stuff. We don't have to look at that. Okay. So here we're saying that if you have a connection, any connection, right? You can create any connection by passing a user. But only connection that holds an actual user as opposed to an anonymous user can have the username printed. So with the type state pattern, we can upgrade connections by changing them. So we can do something like we can have an authentication.
Fixed price on order request header. Oh. All right, so I'm taking a break. It's almost an hour and a half. I'll probably be back on maybe in another half an hour. See ya.